Oh, my God. There I
am. What's up?
What's up, buddy? Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. So you got your new mic and stuff set up there?
I do.
Very nice.
I decided I was going to spoil myself a little bit. This was not cheap.
It's a good upgrade, though. It's definitely worth it. Especially when you get more serious into this stuff, for sure.
It looks more professional, too. When I got, like, I don't know. I feel like when we got the pop screen, it makes me feel all professionalized. It's okay.
Mine's over here off screen, but it's there. Eventually, I'll get something like that. But okay. All right. So
speaking into the mic.
Speaking into it. Let's see here. So, crazy, bizarre weather going on. What's up with that?
Yeah, seriously, crazy, bizarre weather. Dude, we're having so many fires out here. Like, we just actually. So it was a couple days ago. Like, our air quality was up into like the extremes, like where it's like super unhealthy. You can't even go outside without like choking on smoke because like the fires in Spokane. All of Canada's on fire.
The whole world's on fire.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, Maui, freaking man. God bless everybody who's losing their freaking stuff. It sucks. And
it is great.
I don't know. It's wild to me, but. Somebody was commenting in your thing about not moving back up here. What was it? I was talking about the summers are getting too bad here. Oh, Davina.
The worst here, even still. That's the sad part.
Yeah, it's just talking about the fires. And it is actually, dude, we have come to expect it now. Like, once we get to August, this has become like, I think it's like the last, 3-4 years in a row now we've had this horrific smoke, like, every single summer. And I mean, I remember when I drove down for my buddy's wedding down in California, or not California, but Oregon. And like the smoke down there was so bad, like you couldn't barely breathe, man. That was like 2-3 years ago now. Like,
seems like everywhere in the Pacific Northwest, California, Oregon, Washington State, Canada, it's all on fire here.
It's wild. And anytime you look at it, they're like, oh, it's climate change. Anytime you look at anything, any extreme weather events, anything, they're always gonna bust out They're always gonna bust out the climate change, the effects of climate change. I'm like, double down on the climate change.
Is that what this is, though? Do you think? Or what are your thoughts on that?
So, I don't know, man. I do think that obviously some wildfires are a natural part of
just extreme, right?
Of existence. And I've spent a lot of time watching a bunch of nature documentaries. That was my thing when I used to get stoned. I watched every single planet Earth. So I know like when fires do happen, nature comes back like the forest heals itself like way better than before. You know what I mean? A lot of times fires have to happen. However, what is the difference between natural and unnatural? You know what I mean? Like the fires in Maui, for example. Like for the first time I've ever seen it right. Global warming is a pretty common idea. Climate change is now what they say instead of global warming.
Yeah,
that's what they say. But I think the truth is something that, it's really complex. It's not a simple answer. It's not going to be climate change. Like it's obvious that the climate has changed throughout our entire history. Now, how much of an impact are we having on that? That's debatable because you can't trust the data that you're being given. Can you trust anything that you're being given? Absolutely not, because they can skew any data that is given to you to paint a picture. Now, obviously in the world around us, we can see that the climate is messing up, but like, what is the true reasons? And like, I think if you look at ancient civilizations, you see that there's evidence that catastrophes have happened throughout time. And I've just been reading the declassified document I sent you the other day from the CIA called the Adam and Eve story, and talks about how cataclysmic events have wiped out civilizations over and over again. And we end up having to start over. And personally, that's what I believe that they're trying to hide is the true, like, what's actually going to happen. Because if you tell the world, hey, we're all going to die in a certain time frame, they probably even know when it's going to happen too. And they know why it's going to happen. And the evidence is obviously because the magnetic poles of the earth flip. That's what they say. That's what they believed. This guy, Bigfoot, is trying to start a fire.
No, but you would think even those beings that like Bigfoot, they get stuck in these fires. I mean, even our baby put at risk for extinction. You know.
But you know how many fires out here start because idiots throw cigarettes out the window while they're driving? Can you imagine starting an entire forest fire, burning people's houses down because you're too lazy to put a cigarette in an ashtray? You know what I mean? Or
That was
the
even
idiot,
intentional.
the idiot that lit off fireworks down by the gorge a couple of years ago. Not the gorge, but I forgot where the hell he was, down in southern Washington. But they were lighting off fireworks down there. Like, what kind of ignorance is that? Or the one that was doing a gender reveal party and started one of the worst fires in history. The list goes on and on and on.
So a lot of it's not so much climate change, but human causes. You know,
It could be.
Like, or even then, there's a lot of it intentional by our own government. You know, trying to, buy land cheaper or rent people out or depopulate the earth. I mean,
right, dude.
How much of it's natural and how much is it intentional?
It's really hard to say. Like that's not something we're gonna be able to know. Like, you mean, if you want to talk about CO2 emissions, a single volcanic eruption emits more CO2 than in the entire world does. It's like more CO2 in a single minute than the entire world does in an entire year. So I mean, is it really us? Are we really having an effect? I mean, probably yes. We're having more of an effect by destroying the forests, by trying to modify the weather, which now I used to think, like, last several years, I thought this was a massive conspiracy theory. And now, dude, you can just look it up right now. Look up the silver iodide, look up cloud seeding, and like they're talking about it like it's a normal thing. And I thought this was tinfoil hat crap. Like, I used ChatGPT. Right. Yeah, there was a year when the kids lit fireworks on the side of it. That was it. That's wild, dude. I used ChatGPT to ask about cloud seeding. And, dude, it gave me this long list of what they use, what the ingredients are, the chemicals that they spray. I'm like, dude, I thought this was crazy, like, nonsense. And now it's just like they've secretly just put it out there as if, like, it exists. There's apparently factories that seed clouds, dude.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
like, where is this coming from?
Plumes of smoke, and you think that's just part of their exhaust, but what if it's literally just cloud seeding in disguise?
I wrote notes on this crap. So cloud seeding is a weather modification technique that involves artificially inducing or enhancing precipitation by introducing various substances into clouds. So the goal of cloud seeding is to increase rainfall or snowfall in areas experiencing drought or winter scarcity, or to enhance the snowpack in mountainous regions. Like maybe those crazy snowstorms we have out here are not so natural. Anyway, the process of cloud,
like it's beneficial, not so much.
Right. The process of cloud seeding typically involves dispersing certain materials such as silver iodide, potassium iodide, or sodium chloride into clouds using aircraft or ground-based generators. These substances serve as nuclei, which water vapor in clouds can condense and freeze, eventually forming precipitation particles. Like, dude, to me, this is insane to read this. Like, absolutely insane, because any of us that have been in this community for long enough know that this is one of those tinfoil. This is one of the things that they tell you people lash out online about, like, oh, you're crazy. No, like, and now you can just look it up on Google and it'll tell you. Like, come on, bro.
Well, even ChatGPT, even though it's AI, it gets its resources from the internet. So it's got to be factual. It's not going to bring you fictional stuff, non-fictional, whatever you want to call it. But.
Right. I mean, it does say, like, it can give you skewed information. There's a little warning about it, but like, I looked on multiple sources on this now, and like, there's been people who have been saying this stuff forever, and maybe they just now stop denying it. You know what I mean?
Who knows?
Jesus.
Who knows?
Yeah, I've tried to avoid the whole pole flipping stuff because, in all honesty, man, I'm thinking that the world is going to end makes you get to the whole, like, oh, what the hell's the point? But, like, rereading this Adam and Eve story or whatever. It's anybody. You can go right on Google and read it. It's mind blowing. It talks about because there's evidence of this all over the world. So like Antarctica is a strong example. But it's that's evidence that there's a tropical climate underneath. You can do the research on that yourself.
Yeah.
And how did that happen? You know what I mean? How did it get covered in a mile of ice? It seems like it was sudden. You know what I mean? So that's what they say. Like the ancient peoples all had this stuff depicted in their freaking calendars. Every certain number of years, something catastrophic happens on the Earth. It seems like the answer is a pole shift, which causes the magnetic fields to flip north and south, and the pole moves. So like all of a sudden the south, think about the North Pole being in a different spot or the South Pole being in a different spot. That's going to be completely covered in ice now. And I think that that's probably the answer. I think they don't want us to know that.
So basically, the evidence of a pole shift would eliminate any chance of a flat Earth then.
Yeah, I think so. But
fair enough.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how there could be poles on an Earth or flat Earth, but
there couldn't be. No.
I don't know, man. I obviously don't think that the Earth is like completely round. I think it's smushed and like what do you call that? Whatever that shape is. There's a name for it. But
you're getting some feedback or some bumping. Are you tapping your foot or something?
Oh yeah, my bad. I was tapping my hand. I
didn't realize
how sensitive this mic is.
If you look on the back where it says gain, if you turn it down a little bit, it won't be as sensitive.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah. If it's all the way up, you're going to pick up everything.
It's in the middle.
Turn it down a little bit more.
Right now?
See, tap your foot again. Let's see.
Yes. Oh. That's my favorite. Getting nervous
crackling. But I can hear you fine, but I hear crackling. I don't know if it's me or you, but it's minor, so it's not a big deal. But anyways, let's push up.
Yeah, that was I was tapping my fingers, man, getting the nervous tap on.
It's part of the vibrations. These microphones are super sensitive.
I wasn't expecting it. I don't know. And so, like, have you heard about the stuff with the Maui fires and the Paradise, California fires? Do you know what they have in common?
They're trying to buy the land?
No, you think the stories, have you heard, like, the cause? Like, there's a root cause that people are saying the same thing about what happened in Paradise, same thing that happened in Maui.
But it says something about a hurricane caused it, but I don't see how that's a thing.
Have you heard anybody talking about the direct energy weapons?
Yes.
So for the first time I've ever seen, so like this is something that is like fringe stuff. Like I would read about it and be like, oh yeah, this is tinfoil hat crap. You know what I mean? But now, like there's like basketball players writing it on the side of their heads. Like it's like investigate direct energy weapons, Maui. There's all kinds of people talking about it all over the internet, and I don't know, man. To me, it's kind of believable. Somebody asked me why the other day.
It is.
Why would they do that? And the fact is, it's money, man. So the places that they want, these corporations, are already trying to buy the land up there. And like these fires, the characteristics don't make any sense. Like we're talking about like melting cars and stuff. Like regular fires don't do that.
And people have reported seeing lasers or beams of light and stuff too.
Exactly. That's the same thing. Like so, people reported seeing beams of light come out of the sky in California. And I mean, people reported that in the Canada fires too, because the Canada fires, there's like, I don't remember how many the number is exactly, but they started simultaneously. And how is that possible?
It's not. Fire is supposed to spread, not just burst.
And again, the people of the world are lost. They're lost and think that the corporations only run the United States. You know what I mean? It's not true at all. They're running the entire world. The people who are running the world, it's everybody. It's not just the people in the United States. They want us against each other for that reason. They don't want us to know that. But so, I mean, I don't know. It's a crazy thought that they could be using this kind of tech against us. And I seen that. I don't know if that's even real. That video I sent you, like, it looks like it's a History Channel thing that they posted. But is it real? I haven't actually researched it.
Well, even then you got what they call HARP, which is a whole separate thing itself. I mean, this might be multiple, even sources of these types of weapons, not just one overall source. Who knows?
That's
That's hard
true.
supposed to be weather manipulation, and it seems like this direct energy one's specifically for causing fires, perhaps. But I got to look more into it.
Like specifically for causing fires, but I think it's more. It's like, see, we think of direct energy just as laser too. Like I think that there's a couple different types. I think that it's very likely that these weapons were used in taking down certain things that I'm not going to discuss on the live stream, but you know, the things where the steel disintegrated before it hit the ground.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Same type of thing, yeah. Who knows how long this has been out? How far is it back? I mean, all these tragedies and stuff. I mean, they could have had this technology for decades by now, and this is getting better.
Yeah, are you able to show that video or something like of the was it on a Boeing jet that they put this like laser beam?
Yeah. Let me.
So people know what we're talking about here. It's like it sounds crazy, but this is I gotta verify the authenticity of like the video, but it seems legit.
Let me find
It's got a
it
History
here.
Channel logo. I mean, whether or not that's real, let's see. I suppose I quick Google search would tell me.
Let's see, there's a couple of videos here. Let's see which one it is. I think it's one of the more recent ones.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the one I sent you with the fires in Seattle there.
Oh, and the little encampment.
Yeah.
Apparently, somebody intentionally started that fire, like trying to burn the people out of there. I guarantee it, dude.
They had a homeless and all that.
Oh, it's real. Lockheed Martin, directed energy. Okay, that's real.
All right, so this isn't the video.
It's,
I have a few
I think I
of them
sent it to you yesterday. Should be.
Here it is.
Oh, I've sent you a lot of videos, dude. There it is. Yeah. Real by James Barber.
Let me do a screen share here.
And this is confirmed. This is real. This technology exists. So, like, maybe the people saying this stuff are not crazy. You know what I mean? Maybe they really are seeing beams of light come out of the sky and start fires. Just saying.
Right. Let's see, share. You should be seeing it now. There it is. All right, let's press play and.
Airborne Directed Energy Weapon, the airborne laser, also known as the ABL. Just mounting the ABL requires one of the most sophisticated and elaborate modifications in history. The entire nose section is removed and retrofitted, and the world's largest titanium plate is installed to hold the enormous turret-mounted laser in place.
That's wild, dude.
The ABL system is designed to find, track, and destroy an enemy target in the air and on the ground.
Enemy targets, right?
It can loiter at 40,000 feet for 5 hours, refuel in midair, and destroy a target 60 miles away in less than a second. The world's first airborne directed energy weapon, airborne laser. Also,
but yeah, that's not CGI. That's actual footage.
Like, telling you, man, the more stuff gets me all emotionally welled up. Because the more stuff that comes out that literally confirms everything that I've been learning. Like, I thought, people have told me that I'm crazy for believing, like, over the past few years. Like, honestly, dude, I was unemployed, like, I think it was 5-6 years ago now. And I spent nothing but time researching 6 years ago, because I've been at 7 years ago, maybe.
Do you have your other microphone? I can hear you, but it's kind of a little bit of feedback still. Do you have multiple mics on at the same time? Maybe you forgot to disable one in your settings.
Multiple.
It's faint, but I think that's what's causing the interference there.
Let's see.
Make sure your internal ones are turned off.
Can you hear me now? Is it better? Is that better?
Keep talking. Yeah, it's better actually.
That's better.
Yeah,
that's
a lot better.
It's the mic mode on the MacBook. I had it turned on voice oscillation, and I think it's messing with this third-party mic.
That's much better now. I don't hear any of that crackling. Okay, well, good.
Cool. Glad you don't hear it, because that would offend me with this expensive mic. I'm like, oh my God, I want to send this thing back. Murder.
I need the mic. It's just the settings are weird, but yeah, you're good now.
Stupid MacBook.
Expensive MacBook.
I know. That's why I have to accept it. I'm part of Apple now. Apple has me. Can no longer go outside of Apple.
My MacBook's sitting over there somewhere. I use my PC more than anything.
My goodness. What the hell was I talking about? I got sidetracked by the mic. Oh yeah, man. So like again, so I think it was like 7-8 years ago. I was I'm not gonna say what I was doing, but I was unemployed, spending lots of time down rabbit holes, and this was when I got obsessed with conspiracy stuff. And I downloaded a service called Gaia, and it's like Netflix for conspiracy videos, conscious videos.
Gaia is amazing.
And I watched every possible thing I can find on every subject, and like. There's lots of, and I quickly learned because it's one of those things when you're depressed that you get obsessed with these kind of videos, and it's easy to do. And it's easy to believe everything that comes across your screen. And the fact is, you got to learn how to sift it out. And dude, more of this stuff has come true than I ever thought possible. Stuff that they were saying years ago, chemtrails, freaking direct energy weapons, like. All these things that were
to the light,
MK Ultra that was declassified, like, dude, aliens, extraterrestrials, all this stuff, like,
disclosure is coming.
It's insane to me, absolutely insane. This caffeine's killing me. I should probably not drink the rest of this, but
I got some hot green tea. I see we got 6 viewers right now. You guys want to say hi in the comments or interact or ask us any questions? Just type it in the comments and we'll see it.
Oh, I love interacting with people in the comments.
Me too.
I don't think mine works. Let's see.
Should. Well, whatever, for whatever reason, when I type a comment, it posted 3 different times under each one of the different.
Mine does it too. Maybe it's because we're logged in on 2 different services.
Oh, okay.
Mine's in the private chat, bro. What am I doing with my life? There it is.
I see the private chat. Only I can see that one.
Oh, jeez.
It should be a comment one. I've seen it comment before, so I know.
It's nice watching on my 55-inch 4K. It's like watching a TV show. That's cool. Love that. I appreciate you taking the time.
Here behind my green screen, but
I appreciate you taking the time out of your night to watch this.
Yeah, we do appreciate our viewers. Like I said, if you guys want to interact, ask questions in the comments,
There's lots of buzzing. Oh, see, if I would have just read that a minute ago.
He put it after I said something. We didn't want to. It was gradually getting worse and worse. I'm like, yeah, better see if we can fix that. But now it's perfect.
Man, gotta learn somewhere. Gotta start somewhere.
Hey, it's perfect now. It sounds great now.
Any of you have anybody that's watching got any opinions on like the fires going around? Like, I've talked to lots of. I don't know.
So you got that flat panel one. This one just fits over the top of mine. Same thing.
I have like one of those for my other mic that I use, but it won't work with the dang MacBook. Makes me angry. I've had to go through a lot to try to get this to work.
So yeah, say hi in the comments. Watching.
I've asked quite a few people about what they thought about the Maui fires. Like the most common question is like, why? Why would they use like weaponry like this to do this?
I remember that. That was was it LM or IM, the place at Pike's Place? I remember that. That was a while back before I moved back to Georgia here.
Yeah, that was like right before you moved back, wasn't it? That summer?
It wasn't far before, yeah.
Dude, I was looking at trying to go investigate some places out here just for fun because like it's there's
a lot out
there. Place in what is it? Port Gamble, like the most haunted place in Washington. I was reading about it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Port Gamble House. I don't remember what that place is called, but it's apparently a hot spot for paranormal investigators.
There's a lot of places I wanted to check out before I had to leave, but just didn't get around to it. Then the lockdown started happening, so that made it a little more complicated.
Speaking of that, did you hear about the TSA whistleblower? I sent that to you. That's right. That's right. We were talking about that the other day.
Was that legitimately somebody in the TSA, though?
Dude, I haven't been able to confirm it. I work with a dude who orders supplies, and if we were needing to supply masks at that level, we would probably already be on the process of ordering it. So I would assume you would tell me about it.
Could be in warehouses or something. Just waiting for that final call.
I hope not, dude. I hope that they're not going to do a mandate. I think personally, a lot of that is to drum up content, because what it does is, drum up views. A lot of people will immediately search that subject. Oh my God, TSA mask rules, blah, blah, blah. The Sally House.
That sounds familiar. The place high on my list out there was the, what was it? That Irish pub right there on the waterfront. What's it called? It's actually been on Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters. They've actually been there. Just to be extremely haunted.
I'm about to look that up. I want to go, man. Like, I've never actually been to like a paranormal. Like, I've never done an investigation, to be honest. Like,
that's what I heard of. We had different days off, so I can never get you to join me. When I'm off,
I'm also extra terrified, to be honest, which I've told you before.
Well, it's not so bad in groups. By yourself, it's a different story. But, in a group, it's actually pretty exciting.
If I went by myself, something would possess my ass.
Me too. I probably would never come back.
Seriously. We did the Sally House, the history of the Kansas one? It's in Kansas, yeah?
I'm not sure. Is it in Kansas?
History of the Atchits, yes, I think it's in Kansas, according to them. According to this, but it could be more than one.
Possibly. You say Ghost Adventures went to us. It must be a pretty well-known haunted.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of places out there, even in the Seattle area, you can check out. Because I would recommend going in a group. I mean, there's a lot of people in our group that want to get together.
Did you hear about the
Georgia?
I sent you the link about this freaking, not to change the subject, because it blows my mind, the hurricane in California. Like, it turned into like a tropical storm, but like,
that doesn't usually happen either, does it?
It's the first one since like the 1940s, and they had an earthquake on top of that. Apparently, causes landslides, and landslides cause earthquakes there, which I didn't know that. But
we can imagine that sudden shift in all that mass would cause something.
Pretty sure it's Kansas. Yeah, that's the one I was looking at then.
Kansas ain't too far from. Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's not too far from you. I mean,
sure. I think it's right in the middle of the country somewhere. It's still.
Yeah, that's probably like what? That might be like 20 hours from you. 30 hours. I don't know.
Something like that. If I drove, I would fly out there.
Oh, there you go.
Get it.
Heck yeah, man. Get that stuff. And then you ain't got nothing to hold you back. Go do whatever. Let's see. I'm going to look at that. I was just actually watching a video that talked about on Gaia because I was trying to get more information, but it says not by fire, but by ice. This is a guy by the name Robert Felix. And it's not the first time I've heard about like the next ice age coming or whatever. But
yeah.
And I usually don't talk about it, but again, the number I came up with when I was researching end of the world ice age was 2030. So like, it's a scary thought to think that like, the world's going to end in 7 years, but there's also no way to actually prove that. But like,
it could as we know it, in the way we know it, but it might not end. But I say, even if the world ends, it won't. The Earth itself won't, but people living on it will.
Right. So if the pole flips,
blows up or something.
Right. If the pole flips, it's going to cause catastrophic.
Oh man.
Like ice
tsunamis,
tidal waves, tsunamis. Yeah, that's what happens.
All the volcanoes will erupt. It'll be.
But dude, have you ever really like? So there's a tribe in the Four Corners, U.S. amongst other ancient cultures in the United States, for example, that all say they came up from under the ground to escape a cataclysm. And like this cataclysm was in our previous, so like the previous one that just happened. And you got civilizations in South America that disappeared without a trace. And then, these people saying their ancestors, hey, we came up in the ground. And then you got vast cave systems that are said to stretch from the Four Corners region to, Mexico and stuff like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to believe that this kind of stuff is actually true.
Who knows what kind of cave systems or tunnels all over the world are out there that we don't even have a clue about. Right.
It even talks about it in the Bible, dude. Like the crazy weather effects, crazy, like towards the end times you get these, the earth is doing some crazy things right before it wipes us all out.
And we're seeing it now.
I think so, man. I don't know. I think that it's getting progressively worse. The consciousness of the people is getting progressively worse. It's getting more muddled. I think that, we're getting to a point, like a climax point, where we're going to have to choose to come together versus come apart. And that's what's going to be the answer. But even then, like at the end of the day, everybody's still eventually going to die. But
yeah. It's terms you go out on. You go out as an ascended being, or you go down as a lower vibrational being. Say there's a new Earth, you can get stuck on the old Earth.
I try not to think about this crap, dude. But like, you can't research. You can't research anything. You can't research any kind of religion without them talking about the end times coming. You can't research global weather phenomenon without them thinking, hey, climate change is going to wipe out the world. That there is no way to get away from the idea that this world is eventually going to come to an end. You know what I mean? Like, obviously we can't keep going like we are and keep deforesting the world, destroying the Amazon rainforest, for example.
Well, that's just pure greed. The people that are doing that just want the money now. They don't care about the long-term effects. They're not going to suffer through it, so they don't care.
Like, that's the stuff that they don't want to talk to you about. They want to talk about your car releasing too much CO2, but they don't want to talk about how they're destroying, the plants that absorb CO2. They don't want to talk about, destroying that for farmland, for the beef industry, for the United States. That's pretty much what the Amazon rainforest is being used for. The fast food industry is a big culprit here.
Yeah.
Like, I think that we have a limited understanding of how the world works in symbiote. I mean, there's obviously experts that do understand that, and they've been trying to tell everybody, like, hey, the world functions in a symbiotic relationship, and by destroying this, we're throwing it out of balance, like the Avatar.
Yeah, that's exactly true. Balance is the thing we need. And we're cleaning through all the resources in a faster rate than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
Fossil fuels and trees. I mean, even animals are going extinct because of humans.
Yep, that's the truth, man. And like, I think that if we could, one of the ways that we can do this to stop with this destruction is for them to release this hidden technology that they be hiding, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about UFOs, you know where this is going. Like, they're clearly operating on higher technology. They're clearly using, word is that they're using, technology that harnesses energy from the Earth itself.
Basically, they're using gravity in a sense.
Right. So what if we could have a
move
device?
Like an anti-gravity or whatever they want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Something.
But that's what Nikola Tesla wanted. He wanted like a little device that we could have in our house that would literally collect wireless energy and beam it out to empower all our devices.
The Tesla coil, yeah. But you can build yourself.
I saw a meme saying how to save electricity. It shows a picture of a guy unplugging all the electric cars out of the mall.
Right. I've heard that too. Like, what if an electric car, the battery dies on the side of the road? You can't just call AAA and bring a gallon of gas. You're done. You gotta get it towed. I've
seen it, man. I've seen Tesla stuck on the side of the road. And again, the idea of electric cars is cool and all, but like, it's all it is. We're trading one form of control for another. At least with gas, you can hoard some gas. You can go get gas. Like electricity, if they decide, hey,
they shut down the grid,
they shut down the power, what are you going to do? I mean, obviously they can shut down the fuel too. So, I mean, that is generally the argument.
But you can store up fuel unless you got like a generator. Even then, you're not going to waste one car.
Like, what are they doing by forcing everybody to buy electric cars? Because that's what they're doing. In Washington, You're not even going to be able to buy an electric car after, coincidentally, 2030. And
California's trying to make it illegal to buy combustible cars.
They are. I believe they've already actually. I feel like they've banned. Maybe is it like for semi trucks or something like that? Maybe like the new sales. I don't remember what it is, but I don't want to sound stupid here. But
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like essentially, they're forcing everybody to go. Hey, Now you got to come buy a new car from us. So it's like, who is really running the idea of electricity? Who is really behind the idea of like electric cars being the saving grace? It's obviously the corporations. Like, is it going to save everybody in the world because they tell us that it is? Like, is it though? I mean, honestly, is it going to save the world?
We know what they're going to do. They're going to keep jacking the prices of gas. The people feel like they got no choice but to go electric.
Yeah, of course. Dude, we pay like $5 a gallon here, like minimum.
It's only going to keep going up. That's not going to stop.
No, like it has made me, the thought has crossed my mind to buy an electric vehicle because of that. But like, I live in an apartment. It's not easy to find. You can't just plug it into a regular outlet. You need the higher power outlets. But
unless you take it to a charging station.
Like, I refuse to believe that there isn't technology that can charge these vehicles in motion. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be, dude.
That's what hybrids do. They're recharging as you're driving in gasoline.
They got to have something that we can, if they transmit wireless energy to these vehicles, you could drive them forever. I'll buy one right now. And
that's the thing. Wireless charging does exist.
Exactly.
My watch, I put it on a wireless charger. My phone goes on a wireless charger. It exists. You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You put them under the highways as you're driving. It's connecting to that source of power. It's charging as you're driving.
I smacked my mic there. It's true.
Imagine if they had the entire interstate system on that kind of a system. You could drive forever without ever having to recharge or put gas in your car. Yeah, that would give us so much freedom, though, too. They wouldn't want to do that.
And there it is. That's the key, sir. That's the key right there. Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
That is what whoever is controlling this world, the corporations. Let's not be stupid. That's what they don't want. They don't want people to be. They want people to rely on them and to go to them for everything. Like, I've been, as of late, arguing with people online about like medical stuff, and it's like, oh, the studies say this, and like, as a person who has been down the conspiracy rabbit hole for many, many years, the studies are like BS. Okay, You can't read a study from a person, it's like Pfizer doing their own research for their own product and selling you that product. Like, of course, are they gonna release anything that shows negative light? No, they're not, bro.
Oh, of course not.
Like, you have to get past the point where you think that all studies are telling you the truth. All the people are telling you the truth. Like, the people that are selling you stuff are not interested in telling you the truth. They're interested in selling you stuff. Like, they're not interested in curing us. They're interested in treating us.
Treating, yeah.
Like,
there's no money in cures.
No, absolutely not. And I don't know. This has been one of those debates because, like, people call out things pseudoscience, and it's like, oh, they've only been practicing with this stuff for thousands of years. You know what I mean? It's not, but it's pseudoscience because the mainstream doesn't want to study it. I don't know, man. Because again,
we'll go back to electric cars. The biggest thing that holds a lot of people back is the cost of these things. They're not cheap.
No, not at all. Like, I mean, the Teslas are freaking expensive, dude. Like,
yeah, for the low end one, it's what, 60 grand, 70 grand?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, it can go to 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, but still.
I mean, we have like an electric thing that we drive at work, and like, it's kind of cool, man. But the thing, like, I mean, when it's cold outside, it dies like really fast, and like, there's been times we almost had to push that dang thing, and it's interesting. I think that it can come a long way. I think the tech is cool, but I think it.
But government usually gets the lower end of the pole when it comes to the newer tech. They're gonna buy the cheaper. Right? Like, well, I do say our car we use for government use is a gas car. It has a lot of power. It's a nice little Dodge. It has a V6 in it, I think. But it's a regular gas driving car. It's not electric or anything. And that's our government car.
Yeah, ours is like the internal airport one. Like, we use it to drive around the hazmat. Like, that's what it is. Like,
ours is actually going to different locations.
Right. We have like a van that we use too, a gas-powered van, but
we don't even had nothing to go around inside the airport because it's a small airport. But I can imagine the larger ones will have for the.
Right. My God.
But even our small little airport, our employee parking lot, they've actually installed the first actual charging station for electric cars.
Oh, really?
As far as the employee parking lot goes. Now the other passenger ones, they don't care about that, so they put those out there for them. But
I noticed up
Seattle
here, freaking
they had
everybody.
them. When I was there, they had them.
Right, everybody parks in them that's not supposed to park in them. That would be
Of
so
course.
annoying. Imagine like driving electric car and you're like, you want to go park in the spot, and it's like, oh yeah, this guy's parked here because he wants to be an anus.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe I just said the word anus.
And they've had it for a while. Even when I first started there in 2016, they would have had a whole dedicated section just for electric cars.
Right. Where the hell do I have a sock in my pocket?
Now you gotta ask them.
It's not what you think.
I hope not. It's getting knocked.
It's in my yeah, anyway. Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird, Ricky.
It's too late. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.
Please
you guys
do.
are being quiet in our comment section. Go ahead and talk to us, man.
It's
Let
okay.
us know what
Feel
your
free
thoughts
to
are.
chat it up.
Where's Beth at? She hasn't been on. Well, usually we
Beth's-
go on. Usually it's Tuesday night, so
yeah,
might be
it's
throwing people
Tuesday.
off.
We're done messed up. It's Wednesday night now.
Actually, we got more viewers than usual. The 5 people watching. Usually it's 1 or 2 or 0, but that's what we get. As far as live, I mean. Of course, when we're done, it's to be uploaded to our YouTube channel. So,
Mm-hmm. My God. There's people messaging me that don't want to chat in the chat.
Are they shy?
Yeah. Yeah,
You don't
shy
have
people. I'm just kidding.
I'm the shyest person I know, man. You know,
I'm pretty shy too. Now they're just asking if I cut my hair. I certainly did.
I couldn't tell because you had your headphones in.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Mine's actually growing out since the last time I shaved it.
I should just shave my hair. It would be cheaper.
Well, normally we do it on Tuesday nights. Tonight's
Wednesday, yeah.
But even if you missed it, it'll still be on our channels after the show is over. So you can still watch it. And hi there, by the way, Amy.
Yeah, we out here on a different day.
We should be back to normal next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Life happens, so we gotta adjust.
I went to a concert last night when seeing freaking, I don't know if you know who Mudvayne is, but like from the...
I don't.
It's all good, sir. It's all good. It was
I'm
interesting.
old.
They played like 45 minutes as a headlining band, and that's doesn't make any sense to me. Clearly, the singer was probably struggling. I get it, man.
Are you tapping your fingers again?
I am. My bad, bro.
We can hear it.
I'm
That's
panicked.
good. That's what I recommend because a lot of people actually use these arms that elevate your mic off the table. That way, if you do stuff on the table, it won't pick it up.
Oh, I do have one of those arms too. That's a good point. I'm just not
Set
going to
it
set
up.
it up right now. It's too much work.
Well, not right now, but because I know I do that sometimes too, and I'm even realizing it. I'm
Yeah,
trying
it's
not to.
nervous habit. Yeah, man, I didn't realize
See if
that.
you can even hear it. Can you hear that?
I can hear that perfectly.
Okay, that's what we're. Usually, my hands stay under my table unless I'm typing or something.
Mm-hmm. Trying not to nervously take care of myself down here. So I'm just kidding, bro. It's a joke.
You got that sock already, so
Thinking about the sock over here. My God, I can't believe this. Anyway, sorry, Autumn, if you're watching.
it's family friendly. And
Don't make it weird. Family friendly.
End of the world stuff ain't scary enough.
End of the world stuff ain't scary enough.
Now, based on your opinion, with everything going on all over the world, do you think it is end of the world stuff?
Do I think that the world is heading to where it's going to end? I told you many times, dude, like without a doubt, without question, since I was a kid, I believe that the world is going to end in my lifetime. And
I believe that too, in my lifetime.
it is what it is, man. That's one of those things. I try not to think about it because really all that you really have in every day is right this second. That's all you have. Like the past is in your mind. Yeah. It did happen, but it's in your mind. You can't suffer it unless you choose to suffer it. The future is not written yet, even though
it scares a lot of people, but I'm kind of weird in a way. For me, it's exciting because I know what's waiting for me beyond this life. I'm looking forward to it. Because in this reality, I know my limitations. The third dimension sucks. I'm ready to go on to another higher dimension. That's what excites me to know that it's getting close.
it gets scary to some people, and like I think that's because the idea of heaven and hell, and the idea that you're gonna die and go rot and burn in hell for eternity, which is there's no evidence to support that at all. I think if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're not doing you're just gonna get reincarnated, man. The evidence is obviously strongly supports reincarnation, and we don't die. Nothing about us actually dies. It's just this physical
body,
vessel.
yeah, but not us. No, because you're not your body.
Nope.
I've been saying that it's not your body. Your body is a vehicle that you're using to interact in this reality. It's not who you are.
We are quite literally God in human flesh. If you really want to get down to the brass tacks of all of it, they say the kingdom of heaven is inside. It's because that's what we are, man. Ultimately, deep down underneath all this nonsense. So yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens to this freaking world. I mean, honestly, like I've had it in my mind that it's gonna end in 2030. So we'll see. We'll see what actually happens. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
But according to most of the religious talk, it's only going to get much worse.
I mean, the Mayan calendar had a 2012, right? Like the Law of One book series that I'm obsessed with suggested, that the essentially deep down in there is that the Mayan calendar end date was a countdown. So like you count like 20 years from that point is when the harvest is supposed to be over, I guess. They call it the harvest, the ascension, the essentially when you die and have a chance to not go back and reincarnate is what that is. Like, so it's not a harvesting of souls like you're gonna rapture everybody from the earth. It's like the idea that you have the opportunity to not repeat this cycle, but it's gonna be much too much to explain right now, so I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, definitely. Like what they call Judgment Day and all that.
I mean, I think it's gonna happen without a doubt. Like you can see it. Like the earth itself is tired of us. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we're basically a virus trying to eat away at the earth. And the earth has a fever. It's trying to cook us off like we would a virus. That's why you get fevers, because you're trying to burn it off.
Yeah, that's the idea. One of the ideas that, like us destroying the earth, we actually act like an invasive species on this planet. And that's why I honestly believe that we are not natural to this planet at all. We are genetic manipulations here, man. 100%. We did not evolve naturally on this planet.
I've seen evidence that we're not. Like I used to test drive for John Deere. We'd be out in this field with our horses and cows. There'd be birds walking around. They're all just interacting with each other. But the second a person gets anywhere near, they take off. We're the only thing they fear.
Absolutely.
They don't fear each other. They fear us.
You ever thought about
we're aliens?
Freaking what else was I thinking about the other day that was like blowing my mind? It was one of those things I would have when I was stoned, even though I don't smoke. But the like the origin of something like corn. Where the hell does corn come from? Where the hell does
where does anything come from?
Like these vegetables that we think, like, do they grow here naturally? Have you ever seen naturally occurring corn in the wild? You know what I mean? Or is there evidence? I'm telling you that this stuff was given to us. It was brought here from somewhere. Like, dude, it gives a lot more, a lot more sway, I guess.
That's more common than you think. Other than undomesticated dogs, for example, have you ever seen dogs wild out there that were not once, domesticated? Out there roaming naturally, we see wild horses and stuff, but not dogs. Or people would get pet, hamsters and stuff. I've never seen a hamster in the wild.
Right.
Unless they're from another country or something. Like there's tons of things. Like I've never gone out and I've never seen broccoli growing in the wild. I've never seen cauliflower growing in the wild, only in farms and gardens.
Yeah, for those that were late to the show here, we were talking about that earlier. We ran out of the crazy weather to talk about at the moment. But yeah, like we mentioned the fires in Maui. We mentioned the fires literally in Washington, burning up Spokane right now, burning up all of Canada. No, it's not all of Canada, but a lot of
Canada
force.
actually is.
Yeah.
Actually, there's websites you can go that show you all the wildfires currently going on.
You can pull up the wildfire map, dude.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest wildfire map, I think it's called.
There's one for the entire continent. Let's see if I can get it right here.
My happy shirt showing. I didn't realize that.
All right, so basically what I'm bringing up now is just the U.S. And you're probably not going to like what you see. Let me do a screen sharing session here. And it is here.
No way.
That's an official website.
No motherfucking way. Language, sorry.
No, you're fine. This is the FWAC wildfire map.
No fucking way.
And that's what it kind of showed a bit of at the other countries, but most of it's just the U.S. Now imagine this everywhere. And that's basically what we're seeing. The entire Earth is on fire.
That is insane.
I'll see if I can find a global one. Hang on. End the sharing.
Man, that makes me all messed up. And usually, like everybody forgets about this. Like it'll start raining again, then everybody's like, "Oh, it's fine," and then next year it gets progressively worse and worse and worse. But I mean, I go out to the woods all the time, so like I have been to the areas that have been under wildfire. Man, it bounces back quick.
Now this one may be questionable because this is actually NASA's website. Look at Africa right there, that entire section towards the bottom.
Dude, what?
Look at South America.
That's probably the rainforest, dude.
Probably burning it down.
Yeah. Congo. Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, there's been evidence that people, like farmers and stuff, have intentionally started fires, like in the Amazon, to clear out the land. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that they're doing the same thing in Africa. So, and again, I've spent a tremendous amount of time stoned out of my mind watching the Planet Earth documentaries, and one of the things I noticed is that the Earth itself is in a symbiotic relationship. So like they call the Amazon rainforest the breath of the planet. It actually creates weather patterns by itself because of the amount of water that it puts off. It's insane. And the Sahara Desert all the way across, from the other side of the other continent actually fertilizes the Amazon rainforest when the wind blows the sand across. Not only it fertilizes the ocean as well.
Where is Randall? I haven't talked to him in a while, actually.
He was talking to us yesterday about doing that little contact thing.
Yeah, in the comments. But here's another source right here. Just all these fires.
Randall surprises me, man.
Randall was awesome. We need to have him definitely back on.
I like that dude. I like that dude a lot. Like he's shown me that you can believe in aliens and contact and still actually be like very biblical about it. Like, I'm surprised, man, when he's pulling out these Bible quotes, and I'm like, man, it makes me need to reread some of this stuff and, like, maybe what I'm missing here. Like, these Mormon folks that kind of scare me because they know my name. Look at it, he's got my name on here. They just dropped this off. I'm like, dude, this was like 2 years ago I talked to these people, and I still remember my name. And we're sorry we missed you. We wanted to share. So I actually started reading this little tiny book, and apparently the Book of Mormon covers the I'm not going to become a Mormon. I'm just saying that it covers the ancient history of the Americas, and I was not aware of that. It actually makes me intrigued. I want to read it. It's talking about how it was like trying to decipher from golden tablets. I don't know.
Yeah,
those are a lot of campfires.
Just random campfires being picked up.
Campfires, fires. I mean,
who knows?
What he could be saying is that there's a lot of fires started by campfires, or they could literally be campfires. But
the campfire would be like this big. You wouldn't be seeing.
Mm-hmm. These are
huge, something massive in space. Yeah, yeah. But in any case, I mean, you're seeing lots of smoke out there still, even right now, right?
Today's been clean because that weather pattern was blowing in here. It was like raining yesterday, but it got pretty bad.
Yeah. So there are fires going on out there.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, we don't see so many wildfires in this part of the country, but yet, hopefully we won't. I don't want to see you guys go through.
No, it's scary, man. Like, You know, when I got people that live down in Oregon. There, my friends and family live down there, and they talk about how they've had very little warning. They had to get out. You know, like you got to take everything and just like leave. Like this one, my friend's in-laws or whatever lost their weed crop. Like that's a tragedy right there. You got to burn all your weed, man.
If you're in the area, you smell all that smoke, though.
Yeah, he's up here in Washington. That's right. Yeah, it cleared up a lot of the smoke yesterday and today. It's true, but it was nasty. Like we had one of those orange sunsets, where dude, it was wild. At least it didn't get bad as it was last year. Last year, the smoke got so bad out here. We were actually in the purple. It was the worst air quality I've ever seen. And it's like actually in the hazardous.
It was the worst in the world for a little while. I saw
right. It was the worst in the entire world. Worse than China. Worse than all those places, dude. Like
pretty bad.
And they were downplaying the air quality. So like, if you actually research what that is, dude, that's aluminum. That's like literally going outside in that you're supposed to be wearing like gas masks. Dude, they were making us go to work in that shit still. Like, the place we work doesn't give us days off. I actually called out. So I ain't leaving the freaking house. I'm sitting by my damn air cleaner.
Well, that's what I don't get. There could be severe weather, tornado warnings going off, and they still expect me to show up to work so people can make a flight to go visit.
If I had my badge, I'd show you, sir. Emergency response official. That's why, buddy. Emergency response. They need us.
I'm not going to die since I can go to Vegas and gamble the money away.
They need us to screen Karen and take her water bottle from her.
Mm-hmm. Like I swear, when I was in Seattle, we had a bad snowstorm when I first started. The roads were horrible. People were calling out left and right. But guess who's at the airport? All the passengers. Not a single one missed that flight. They'll walk to that.
Of course not. They will walk.
I've seen them do it. There was a bomb threat in that airport. They shut down the entrance. It was backed up to the freaking mall in the South Center. People were literally abandoning their cars and walk to the airport. They wouldn't make a flight.
Yeah, dude.
That's why I cannot stand people. I mean, it's just. Ugh.
I know it's giving me a poor taste for people too. That's why I'm glad I'm off the checkpoint for a bit. But
I've lost faith in mankind a long time ago. I mean, even before TSA, there were times I'd be sitting out there. I'm like, God, you just go in and destroy the planet right now. And that's before TSA.
Honestly, man,
I would talk to them. Destroy this earth. I mean, it's just horrible here.
I think that it's only a matter of time, man. If the, it's only a matter of time before that really happens. And I think that we're going to bring it on ourselves. Like if we can't learn to live in harmony with nature, like people talk about the Georgia Guidestones as being the only negative thing on that entire thing was keep population under 500 million, because obviously to do that, you would have to wipe out
a lot of people.
Most of the population. However, this was instructions to a future civilization,
post-apocalyptic recovery.
But every other thing on that was, in my mind, like that's why I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't disagree with any of those statements except for the first one.
Well, it did talk about basically the New World Order, the one world government, things like that too.
But like,
would that be something?
Would it be bad if it wasn't corrupt?
That's the key. If it's not corrupt, but can we have a non-corrupt government?
But look at the system we already live in. This system we live in is obviously corrupt on so many levels.
They don't even try to hide it anymore.
Oh, like I got a buddy who's watching the Republican debates and like asking if I watch it. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna watch this nonsense. I'm not gonna watch it because like it is the answer to fix our problems is not going to come from this side or this side. It's not going to come from that. It's going to come from us ejecting all this. Right. That's it.
They don't even talk about what they want to do, what their plan is. They just attack each other. The reasons why not to vote for the other guy. Yeah, I know it gets me riled up too.
Right.
But we're not a political channel, so.
No, we're not political. I'm not going to go political. I'm just saying, like, the answer to me is outside of this box that we've been conditioned to live in. And that's what I try to tell people whenever I get on this subject. But in any case, I'm about out of time here. I got to go. But
yeah, it's been over an hour already.
What the are you doing in there? All right.
Is it ghost?
Oh, no, it's worse. It's kids.
It's a gray. I
certainly hope not, sir. Take me away. That's mean. Honestly, that's what dude's trying to contact. You trying to contact Ray. That's what's going to happen to me. See, I'm over here by myself trying to do this CE5 contact, and they're going to show up at my house. They're going to be like, oh, you think we're playing here, sir?
Where's Mr. JB333 at?
Probe your whole butt. I'm going to probe the whole butt.
If it gets me off the earth, then you do what you got to do.
I guess.
They got to give you an examination, make sure you're safe. As long as it's not some sort of sexual.
That's the way it's going to be, sir. It's going to be sexual. I know it. I'm going to be okay. I'm not family friendly. Family friendly.
And it's like, you think that's a probe we're using? Well, yeah, we're going too far.
We can probe it down.
All right, guy. All right, I think that's a good time to call it. We're gonna go get kind of weird now. So tune in next week.
Yeah. I think I'm doing a live thing tomorrow too. I'm going to try to do one with that new software just to see if it works. But
yeah, we need to figure that out. I'm going to watch some videos on it, trying to get some tips on it. It's very close to how OBS is, so I have a little bit of an idea, but I still want to get used to it before we try. So eventually we will be using a different source for our videos. Right now we're using StreamYard, but we're going to start using, Streamlab or LabStream?
Streamlabs.
Something like that.
Yeah, I have like themes, and I was trying to figure out how it works, but
a lot of it is gamer-based stuff, though. So we got to figure out how to use the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That was the problem I was having. But anyway, man. All right, I'll chat with you later.
All right, we'll catch you later, man.
I gotta pee really bad.
All right, so JB33 goes and does his relieving himself. Wrap up tonight's show. We talked about a little bit about the weird, bizarre weather's going around. We got off tangent a little bit, which we do all the time anyway, which is fine. But hopefully next week we'll be back on our normal schedule of Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. And that'll be August 29th. So stay tuned for that. I'll be dropping a link in the Facebook group so that you know what the topic will be as far as the link to click to watch us. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you haven't already, hit a like. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Help us out. I'm over here on my channel. Josh is on his, which is Reflections. So if you're a fan of his, also show him some support. And we'll catch you guys later. You have a great night.